The day I realized I was nothing to them. I used to believe loyalty was loud, that love announced itself, that if I gave enough of myself, I would eventually be chosen. I was wrong. I remember the exact moment everything cracked, not shattered, not exploded, cracked, like a quiet fracture inside bone. You don't scream when it happens. You don't even bleed. You just feel different, weaker, off balance. I was sitting alone in my car, engine off, phone glowing in my hand. I had just read a message that wasn't meant for me. I didn't snoop. I didn't spy. Fate is cruel but efficient. It puts truth in your lap when you're most unprepared. Don't worry about them, the message said. They'll never leave. They don't have the spine. I stared at those words for a long time. They were right. At least I had been. I didn't cry. That came later. First came numbness. The kind that makes the world feel distant, like you're watching your life through dirty glass. I asked myself the same question over and over. How did I become so easy to dismiss? I had given loyalty without limits, time without boundaries, love without self-respect. I answered calls immediately. I forgave apologies that were never meant. I bent until I didn't recognize my own shape. And somehow, I was still disposable. That night, I looked at myself in the mirror and whispered something I'd never admitted out loud. They don't respect you, and you train them not to. That realization didn't ignite revenge yet. It ignited shame. And shame hurts more than betrayal. Part 2. The quiet collapse no one noticed. People think heartbreak is dramatic. Crying, screaming, late-night texts, public meltdowns. Mine was silent. I still showed up, still smiled, still said, I'm fine. But inside, something fundamental collapsed. I stopped recognizing myself. I second-guessed every thought. I replayed conversations like crime scenes, searching for the moment I became not enough. I asked myself humiliating questions. Was I boring? Too available? Too kind? Too replaceable? At night, my mind turned against me. It listed my flaws like evidence in a trial, where I was both defendant and judge. Sleep became impossible. Food tasted like cardboard. Music felt intrusive. The worst part wasn't missing them. It was missing who I was before I let them shrink me. I watched them move on effortlessly, laughing, posting, thriving, as if I had never existed, as if my absence was relief, not loss. That's when the darkest thought crept in. If disappearing hurts this little, did I ever matter at all? I hated myself for needing validation from people who had already discarded me. I hated that my worth felt outsourced. I hated that I still wanted closure from someone who had already closed the door. But beneath all that pain, something else was forming. Not anger, clarity. Part 3. The moment revenge changed shape. Revenge fantasies are loud at first. I imagined confrontations, perfect speeches, moments where they realized what they lost and begged for forgiveness. I rehearsed words that would wound just enough to balance the scales. But then something unexpected happened. One night, exhausted from crying, I asked myself a simple question. What if they never care? The thought hit harder than betrayal. What if no apology comes? What if no regret follows? What if they live happily, unbothered, while I rot in resentment? That's when I understood something most people never do. Revenge that depends on their reaction is still dependence. I didn't want justice anymore. I wanted freedom. And freedom doesn't come from destroying others. It comes from becoming unreachable. That was the night my revenge stopped being emotional and became strategic. I made a quiet decision. I will never beg for respect again. I will become someone who doesn't need to. No announcements. No dramatic exits. No threats. Just disappearance, followed by transformation. Part 4. Rebuilding myself in silence. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing. That was the point. I deleted explanations from my vocabulary. I stopped oversharing. I stopped proving. I stopped chasing closure like it was oxygen. Instead, I turned inward. Pain became fuel. Humiliation became discipline. Every memory that once weakened me now sharpened my focus. When motivation faded, I remembered how easily I had been dismissed. I woke up early, not to impress anyone, but to reclaim time. I trained my body until exhaustion drowned out overthinking. I learned skills quietly, read obsessively, saved money ruthlessly. I didn't heal loudly. I healed effectively. Some nights, the anger returned. But instead of feeding it with fantasies, I asked myself, what kind of person would never tolerate this again? Then I became them. Boundaries replaced explanations. Standards replaced hope. Self-respect replaced attachment. Slowly, the version of me they had known began to die. And I didn't mourn them. Part 5. When they started to notice. It always happens. Not because they suddenly grow insight, but because absence changes value. Silence rewrites narratives. Growth creates contrast. The first message came months later. Hey, just checking in. I stared at it without emotion. Not relief. Not anger. Not excitement. Indifference. That scared me more than hatred ever could. They tried nostalgia. Then apology-light statements. Then curiosity masked as concern. I realized something chilling. They didn't miss me. They missed access. The version of me that answered immediately. That forgave without change. That made them feel important. That person no longer existed. And for the first time, I felt powerful. Not because I had won, but because I no longer needed to. Part 6, the final shift. One evening, I caught my reflection again, like I had months before, but this time, the mirror showed someone else. Someone calmer, straighter posture, eyes that didn't ask for permission to exist. I smiled and said quietly, "You survived the thing that was supposed to destroy you." That's when I understood the final truth about revenge. The most devastating response to betrayal is becoming whole without them. Not bitter, not cruel, not obsessed, just unreachable. They may tell stories about me. They may rewrite history to protect their ego. They may wonder how I moved on so completely. But they will never know the full truth. They will never know how close I came to breaking. How much effort it took to rebuild. How intentionally I chose myself. And that's okay. Because this story was never about them. It was about me remembering who I was. And becoming more. Part 7. What I would tell my old self. If I could speak to the version of me who felt disposable, I would say this. You weren't too much. You were too available to people who gave too little. You didn't lose them. You lost an illusion. And the pain you feel right now? It's not weakness. It's transformation trying to happen. Let it. Ending line. Powerful close for video or story. I didn't get revenge by destroying them. I got revenge by outgrowing the version of me that ever needed them. And that was permanent.